Miss Kristen of the Oosterhout Free Library. And I'm here in my spooky lab because we're celebrating National Chemistry Week with some slightly spooky science activities that you can do at home with materials that are easy to find. We'll be making things fizz, expand, and bubble, from fizzy eyeballs to goopy ghosts and magical monster hands. So let's get started right now. Have you ever combined baking soda and vinegar? What happened when you put them together? Let's find out. You're going to want to find somewhere that it's okay to get a little bit messy, or at least put a container underneath your cup that you're going to use. So put a little bit of baking soda in there. And it fizzes pretty cool. Well, let's use the scientific words that a chemist used to describe what's happening. Baking soda's chemical name is sodium bicarbonate, which is the base. And when it's mixed with vinegar, whose name is acetic acid, which is an acid, so when the base and the acid mix together, a chemical reaction happens. Something is created, it's new, it's called carbonic acid. And that, which then breaks down into a gas called carbon dioxide. And we can see this in the bubbles of the fizzing. And as you saw, it happens very quickly. But we can make it a little bit spooky with this next activity. We can make baking soda and vinegar into a fizzy eyeball. I'll put a link in the description box below with the directions to this activity. But basically all you need to do is take some of the baking soda, maybe around a half a cup or so, and some water to make into a paste, roll it into a ball, let it dry at least 24 hours. I patted my ball dry with a paper towel, and that kind of speeded things up a little bit. Once it's dry, I used a marker to add some eyeball details. And now let's take a closer look to see what happens when we add vinegar to it. We have our fuzzy eyeball here. When we add the vinegar, what will happen? Whoa! That was pretty cool, but it happened kind of quickly. If only there was a way that we could slow it down a little bit so we could take a look at it. Well, we can. We can add something to it that won't change the chemical reaction between the baking soda, or sodium bicarbonate, and the vinegar, the acetic acid. We can add dish soap. That'll slow it down a little bit and make those little bubbles that we saw, maybe they'll make them bigger bubbles. Let's find out. Let's make this one a little spooky. Let's make Goopy Ghost. And for this, you're going to need a white paper cup or any other paper cup that you have in your house, and a permanent marker. And you're going to make a face on here. Any kind of ghost face that you want, cut it out. It's going to look like this. We're going to put some baking soda in it and some vinegar, and then we're going to add some dish soap to it too. And one other thing to make it a little bit more spooky. Maybe we'll add some food coloring. But let's take a closer look, okay? So I've added about 3 tablespoons of baking soda to my ghost here. And then I am going to add a few drops of dish soap. And now I'm going to add vinegar, but I added some food coloring in it just to make it a little bit more spooky. I added yellow and I added red. What color do you think will come out? Let's find out. Whoa! Looks a little bit orange to me. Pretty cool. Now, if you see all of those bubbles bubbling up, that's because the vinegar and the baking soda have combined to make that carbon dioxide gas. And then we can see that with all these cool bubbles, and the soap allows us to see that. And there's another way that you can also see this gas, and that's with making a magical monster hand. Let's find out how we do that next. To make our next science activity, magical monster hands, you're going to use something that you might have around your house these days, a plastic glove. And so what you're going to do with the plastic glove is you can decorate it with a permanent marker. I made mine have lots of cool bumps and fingernails, but you can make yours any way you like. And if you don't have a glove, then I'm going to include in the description box below a way you can do the same activity using a balloon and maybe even a water bottle. So what you're going to do is, after you've decorated your glove, you're going to need a glass or a jar or anything that you have, and maybe a rubber band, depending on how wide your glass is. So what you're going to do is you're going to put in the glass 3 tablespoons of vinegar. It doesn't have to be orange. I just made it a little bit more fun. And then a teaspoon of baking soda. All right, but what we're going to do with that teaspoon of baking soda, we're not going to put it in the cup. Instead, we're going to stick it inside the glove, okay? So you're going to put it in. We're going to try to get some in every little finger. Let's try to do that now. Now that we have our glove ready, we're going to go ahead and put it around the outside of the cup. Now, if it's a little bit loose, you might want to use a rubber band. I'm just going to go ahead and hold it. And now this is where the magic begins. Hold the fingers up and get all of the baking soda into, oh, you might have to hold the bottom. Whoa! Uh-oh, it's going to explode. There you have your magical monster glove. And you can make one of these at home. Pretty cool, right? I hope you had fun doing some spooky science. See you next time. Bye. Bye.